Hello and welcome to your one-stop showbiz spot. This is Trendz on the SABC News channel, coming to you from our headquarters in Auckland Park, Johannesburg. I'm your host. My name is Rufio Wemwilwa, and we have a busy packed lineup. So yeah, let's get into the biggest news that's made headlines locally and internationally.
South African actress Pearl Thusi has been confirmed to have a regular role on the second season of American series Quantico. News of the lip-sync Battle Africa host's new gig began to circulate after Quantico lead star Priyanka Chopra shared a season 2 cast member snapshot on her Instagram, with a familiar face spotted among the newest cast. According to American news site Deadline, Thusi will play the role of Diana Mapasi, a driven and disciplined Type A lawyer. The second season of Quantico will premiere on 25th September stateside, with actor Blair Underwood also joining the cast. Thusi will next star in the local biopic Kalushi, the story of Solomon Mahlangu later in the year, directed by Mandla Dube and starring opposite a fresh-faced cast of Thabo Ramatsi and Thabo Malema. Just days after MT flaunted his brand new AMG with over 800,000 rand, he's revealed that his album Avery has been certified platinum. The rapper's debut album Avery has exceeded the stipulated number of CDs sold, pushing it to platinum status in just 7 months. Taking to social media, MT said that going platinum was due to hard work and passion. A new documentary, Nobody's Died Laughing, celebrates the life of Pieter Dirk Uys and his career, which expands over 50 years in performance. The film, which debuted at the Durban International Film Festival at the end of June, is set for a nationwide theatrical release on 29th July. Directed by Willem Olofsson, the film features interviews with friends, family and well-known South Africans in arts and politics, all reminiscing about their favorite Uys moments. Interviewees include actresses Charlize Theron and Janet Suzman, as well as Desmond Tutu and Nelson Mandela's former private secretary, Zelda Lagrange. Italian actress Sophia Loren, one of Uys's childhood idols, makes a special appearance to talk about their lifelong friendship.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yes, I can.
Terry Petu's film Ayanda opened up the second edition of the Rome Africa Film Festival at the Casa del Cinema in Rome's Villa Borghese Park on Wednesday evening. Ayanda also opened the Durban International Film Festival in 2015, a showcase of independent African cinema, and won the jury prize at the Los Angeles Film Festival in 2015. The 4-day festival is part of the Italy Africa initiative.
He said, go, 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 go get lost in the wind.
Now, the 2016 Emmy Award nominations were announced this week in the States. Game of Thrones dominated the night with the most nominations, while People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story, came in second. The award ceremony is set to take place on September the 18th. Take a look.
The contenders for the 2016 Primetime Emmy Awards have been announced, and Game of Thrones led nominees with 23 nods. Among its nominations, the medieval fantasy series garnered recognition for outstanding drama. It won that category last year. The People vs. O.J. Simpson, American Crime Story, which follows the details of the 1995 Simpson murder trial, scored 22 nominations in the limited series categories, including 2 Best Actor nods for Cuba Gooding Jr. and Courtney B. Vance, and a Best Actress nod for Sarah Paulson. The FX crime drama Fargo was the third most nominated production with 18 nominations, including a bid for Best Limited Series and a nod for Kirsten Dunst as Best Actress in that category. In the comedy series category, HBO's political satire Veep led with 17 nominations, including Best Actress for Julia Louis-Dreyfus. She's won for Veep every year since 2012. This year's Emmy winners will be announced at a ceremony in Los Angeles on September 18th.
Now, imagine a place of stunning beauty and make-believe where your dreams come to life and play is actively encouraged. This place is called Malaville, thanks to the creative genius of Mala Bryan.
The Malaville debut collection is a range of dolls with a variety of brown skin tones and, more importantly, natural African hair. Malaville was founded by international model, businesswoman and doll collector Mala Bryan, as she identified the need for more curly-haired black and brown dolls at an affordable price.
I am a doll collector. I love dolls, love Barbie, love fashion royalty dolls. And in my collecting time, I couldn't find enough dolls with like Afro hair or more natural curly hair. So I figured, you know what, I might as well just make my own because there is that huge gap missing in the market.
The way children engage with their toys is a good reflection of how they will interact with their friends in the real world. Bryan feels strongly that kids need to relate to their dolls and therefore showcasing diverse ethnicity.
There's a natural hair movement happening now where people are now embracing their natural hair, their natural curls, black people, black women. And also I've met quite a lot of white curly-haired women that would straighten their hair because they never felt comfortable with their curls. So it's actually not only a black issue. And a lot of that I'm learning with the dolls. They've taught me quite a lot. The public response, amazing. The children, I get pictures of the children who like, wow, mommy, she looks just like me.
Bryan's range of dolls was inspired by her own playful nature, and the debut collection has just launched with 4 dolls of varied brown hues, each with their own career and natural beauty.
It's my imagination basically coming to life. So they're called the Mala Knights of Malaville. And I search for names with great meanings because to me, if I have to have a beautiful dolly world, it has to be a perfect world. And so my darkest doll, her name is Maisha, and her name means life in Kiswahili. And so for me, that's like my dream coming to life. And my name Mala, so we do have a Mala doll. It means necklace of flowers in Indian. And then we have Malina. Malina is actually the name of my alter ego, and that's when the model in me comes out because I am extremely shy. But when I'm on the runway and when I'm working, I become someone else. And so I name her Malina, basically, and she means calming and soothing because that is also the side of me that people come actually to find for therapy and to have a chat and things like that. So I'm also known as Mama Mala. She's known as Mama Malina in Malaville. And Mina, I also found another Kiswahili name, and she means enjoyable and delightful. And I chose that name because that's what I want the journey to be for me. I want to enjoy this journey with the dolls and with everything that I plan on creating with the dolls.
Bryan's aim is for the dolls to have an impact on the citizens of the world and for the debut collection to make it into all doll collections, both young and old.
Representation matters, black doll also matters. And the dolls aren't just for black children, they're also for children of other races because diversity in the toy world is very important. And that is one of the strong messages that I want to have out there as well, that, you know, that children, like, you know, white parents, please buy black dolls for your children because children relate so much their real world issues into their dolly world. So if your child has a black friend, they need a black doll that represents their friends. So that is very, very important, and I really hope that, you know, that parents can understand and that they can go out, even if it's not a Malaville doll, but hopefully it is a Malaville doll. But, you know, just to get some black dolls into the hands of, you know, into every doll collection. It's very important. It might solve a lot of our racism issues that we're facing in the world right now.
Exciting projects and additional dolls are in the pipeline, with accessories also.
Now, Undiscovered Campus, a company that represents and promotes South African art in Europe, had 6 of the best emerging and established South African visual artists showcasing their works at the 26th Juliet Cullinan Standard Bank Wine Festival this week at Summer Place in Johannesburg. Now, guests had the pleasure of admiring the best of South Africa's visual art whilst tasting the best wines on offer. I'm here with the founding director of the festival. Nomaza, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for filming.
We've been having such a lovely chat off air about art, and I mean, so so this is still a baby.
It
you know,
is
it's
still
still,
a
it's still your
baby.
baby, but
Yes.
kudos to you for starting up something like this, which is only in its second year. So tell us what happened this week, because as I understand, your works were on display from
Yes.
12th to the 14th.
Yes.
So it's already come to an end. So tell us what happened.
Well, I met Julian Cullion in Monaco about a month ago, and she invited me to come to her festival, which is sponsored by Standard Bank. And I thought of it as being an excellent idea because she handpicked the best of South African wine. And this is exactly what I do also in Europe. I handpick the best of South African artists to exhibit them in Europe. And since, as you well said, my baby is still too young, I thought this was going to be a beautiful opportunity for me to come and exhibit and show the artists and then also show the investors exactly what it is that I'm doing in
Right.
Europe.
Okay.
So sorry.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to say now, I mean, I don't know if there is a difference even between, you know, South African art versus, you know, the kind of taste that Europeans have. So what have you discovered in the years that you've researched before putting together Undiscovered Campus?
In all honesty, we don't see a lot of South African artists being exhibited in Europe. I've been in Europe now for the past 7 years, and there are not that many exhibitions that are taking place. And if there are, it's already extremely established South African artists who get the opportunity, which is extremely wonderful.
Yeah.
But however, what happens, because we have a lot of
There's so
much
more.
talent,
Yes.
this is where I saw the gap. And I also realized that the Europeans were extremely interested in our history, in our culture. And I thought to myself, what a better way to teach them, to communicate, because at the same time, Undiscovered Campus is to have a cultural exchange with the Europeans about what is happening in South Africa.
Right. Okay. And so tell us about, you know, the artists that were on display this
Yes.
year and how people just received their work.
Well, the clientele for Juliet Cullion's Standard Bank Wine Festival has been here for the past 25 years. This was the 26th year.
Yeah.
It's a very prestigious event. So I knew already I was going to bring about to a clientele that was particular, a clientele that
Yes.
did love art.
Yeah.
So I wanted artists also in the same standing. But however, I also do discover artists, so I also wanted to have emerging artists.
Right.
So I had 6 painters and 1 ceramic. Now, the 6 painters, we had Uputi Mbongeni Buthelezi, whom is extremely well known internationally and here in South Africa.
Right.
He paints with recyclable plastic.
Fantastic.
I had Uput Edward Selematelo, also very much so well internationally. In fact, his first exhibition was in Bordeaux.
Wow.
In 1997.
Very first. Wow.
He's
that's
very
amazing.
first, no, first international.
Oh, first international
exactly.
one. Okay.
Yes.
And so the young ones, the ones who are
And
up
the-
and coming,
ex-
let's just talk about them briefly and just the kind of things that were on display in their art.
I had a young lady, Maruping.
Yes.
Maruping I discovered about 5 months ago, and I just knew I had to do something about her. Now, Maruping uses a recyclable newspaper to make her masterpieces, and I didn't know where to put her.
Yeah.
And when I got this opportunity, I knew this is the girl that I want to bring into the table.
Fantastic.
She has a painting that I exhibited, which is called I See Humans, But Not Humanity. Stunning
Right.
painting. And when I saw that, I asked her, what inspired you? And she told me it was the xenophobia attacks that happened in South
Yeah,
Africa.
yeah.
And for me, for a 20-year-old to have so much depth, I know something is coming out.
Yeah, something great. That's
Exactly.
fantastic, you know, that you can bring, you know, artists like, you know, this young lady to the fore. And I mean, I'm sure, you know, people were stunned and amazed by the kind of work that she did.
Exactly.
And that's just the thing. So art doesn't necessarily need to cost a lot in terms of creating it.
No.
It's about just, you know, somebody having that visual eye to say, you know what, I want to translate my perception of the world. And yeah, so fantastic. So what next? And yeah, what's next for Undiscovered Campus?
Well, now, one of the artists that I had, he is a ceramist. His name is, I'm going to forget his name now, which is not good.
Sure.
Simpiwe Mbunyuza.
Okay, so what's happening with him quickly?
Simpiwe, I'm taking him to Europe, August and September. I'm doing his first international exhibition there.
Fantastic.
And after that, the same artists that I had during this festival, I'm taking them to London on the 19th and the 20th of October.
Fantastic. All
Yes.
the work that you do for celebrating and promoting South African art to the international market is to be celebrated. So kudos to you and thank you so very much for
Thank
coming to
you.
tell us
And
about Undiscovered Canvas.
Thank you so
and
much for
we will definitely be
inviting
looking out
me.
for more in the future.
Thank you.
Thank you
so much.
Nomasa. All right, well, stay tuned. After the break, we're back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Now, this past week, Trendz was invited to an exclusive media launch of the special edition Red campaign bottle designed by iconic Ndebele artist Esther Mahlangu in collaboration with global superstar John Legend in Mpumalanga. And of course, because we always need to keep you in the loop, we headed out there to speak to her and find out what this is all about.
Kunjani nilothisa ngimi umama Esther Mahlangu ngila kwaNdebele Belvedere ngiyathokoza.
With many accolades to her name, iconic Ndebele artist Mama Esther Mahlangu has added yet another creative aesthetic to the Western creations. This time around, she embarked on a collaboration with 9-time Grammy Award winner R&B artist John Legend by fusing music and art to one of the most famous alcoholic brands in the globe.
Esther really is playing the role of the, bringing the authentic African artists' creativity to life. John is obviously the global superstar that resonates in hundreds of markets around the world. And, this bottle will be on sale in over 40 countries. Esther's artwork will appear on the back of our bottle, and it's her Ndebele artwork that I think really brings this beautiful energy and passion and creativity to life. Alongside that, you've got John, who brings his obviously, global superstardom and the ability to really amplify the work that we're doing here. So it's all very exciting for Belvedere.
The 81-year-old Ndebele artist is well known for her bold, large-scale contemporary paintings. She gained her first international attention in 1989 at an exhibition titled Magicians of the World in Europe. Fast forward to 1991, she created the first African art car for BMW following the creations of well-known artists such as American artist Andy Warhol and Frank Stella.
Hawa lokhu bangifuna ngabe ngisebuthabelo emuseum bangitshela bona thokoza ngiyogwala iBM emhlophe ngathi hawa yina kinga ngizayigwala angithi imbere kwami ngathi yina kinga ngambere kwami ngizayigwala omunye ukhwala athi yawu Esther ikolege amsile imhlophe ngathi reg angithi ngiyawazi imbere kwami hawa ke ngayigwala vele ke ngekube nekinga ngayigwala bengayicetha njengoba uyibona ilapha njaya.
The artistic collaboration between John Legend and Mama Esther is for a good cause. In 2006, singer Bono and Bobby Shriver founded Red, a non-profit organization which partnered with the world's most iconic companies in the fight against AIDS.
So the money that we raised through Red, so every single one of our stunning Esther designed red bottles, we donate 50% of the profits of our profits from the sale of those to help fight diseases here in Africa, and we donate that money directly to the Global Fund, and then they direct it into specific projects in various countries in Africa, including here in South Africa.
Arige cool, akunakinga, barige cool. Ngoba abanye asinandro, abanye kwenza njani izokusiza ngitsho.
It'll be coming out early September. We've got a major global launch event end of August in New York City, August the 27th, with John, with Esther. Esther's coming to New York. She's going to be then doing a little tour around the US, and the bottle will be available for sale here in South Africa from, I'd say, early mid-September onwards.
Fantastic. Now, the Market Theatre's ongoing promise to showcase groundbreaking theatre is ongoing. Still high on celebrating their 40th year anniversary, audiences were treated to 6 characters in search of an author. A classical play by Italian dramatist, novelist and storyteller Luigi Pirandello, adapted to take on a South African slant and brought to life by Sibusiso Mamba in his debut as director.
Hello, hi. Can I speak to Mfundi Vudla? Mfundi, you are talking to Desmond Dube. Desmond Dube. Mfundi, one of your actresses, Kate Nomington, is selling some of your future storylines to another TV show.
Delivering a theatrical experience that reflects a common theme in Pirandello's writing of removing the audience from its comfort zone and immersing people in a spontaneous experience. This is what 6 Characters in Search of an Author is about. The play begins with a down-and-out Dube theatre company that specializes in staging classic works and is trying desperately to stay afloat. One day, in the middle of rehearsals, 6 people turn up claiming to be characters that need an author to complete their story.
This is a story of a family that that has like a sort of like a traumatic experience, and they are searching for someone to find a better ending for their life stories. I don't want to give away too much, but this is a classic, as I mentioned earlier. It's a play that was written in 1922, I think, written in 1921, performed in 1922. In South Africa, it hasn't been done since 36 years ago, I think. So we are really honored to be doing another Pirandello production. I think it's every actor's dream.
We're not here for a run-through. We're looking for an author.
Author?
What begins as an outrageous, hilarious and laughable claim soon turns into a deeply unsettling reality. The theatre company confronts the possibility that these 6 people really could be characters and their tragic story might just be worth putting on the stage. Throughout the play, theme of love, loss, hope, betrayal and abuse are highly visible and highlighted by these strong characters. Kate Nomington, who plays herself in this production, takes us through her journey.
And I suppose the role of the troupe is to sort of set a backdrop for the 6 characters, to illustrate to the audience how unreal their world is and how real the world of the characters is and how very tortuous their paths are, so that it's a kind of juxtaposition of reality and unreality.
You people are not listening.
Luigi Pirandello was a prolific Italian dramatist, novelist, poet and short story writer who was awarded the 1934 Nobel Prize in Literature. His works include hundreds of short stories and about 40 plays, some of which were written in Sicilian. The play will conclude at the end of July.
Our disgrace in front of the whole world. Our author never wanted to put any of this on stage. Why are you all so frantically trying to do that?
Now, Tomorrowland Unite, the mirror to Tomorrowland, is bringing the magic of this fantastic music event and stage production to the Dance Nation of the Year, South Africa, on Saturday, the 23rd July. That's next weekend. Now, supporting the best in local music, Tomorrowland Unite SA have curated an unbelievable lineup that will see SA's finest mix masters and producers perform live. And I'm sitting here with Lloyd Cornwall, the festival promoter, who's done so very much for music, and cross continents and just internationally. Welcome to Trendz, Lloyd.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Now let's talk about this next week, Saturday. You were just telling me that this is the very first time that there's a South African leg of Tomorrowland. So please tell us more.
Tomorrowland is the most popular music festival in the world, and they get about 2.5 million ticket applications just for the one festival. So last year they piloted a program where the various different Unite events happen around the world exactly the same time as Tomorrowland itself in Belgium.
Yeah.
And the main stage lineup on the Saturday night is brought through using a live feed. So the screen it'll be the biggest LED screen ever assembled in South Africa. So the main DJs are brought through, and it's not just the audio, it's the visual, it's the technical.
Everything all together, because that creates the experience.
It's never been done before, and it's going to be really interesting to see.
So you don't look like you're having a whole lot of grey hairs right now with a week to go before this festival happens. How's logistics and planning, behind the scenes?
That's all done. Thank goodness that starts a long time ago.
Fantastic.
So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I do a lot of different festivals, and I like doing firsts. I like doing something for the first time, because there's always a lot of excitement around watching something develop and watching, a new idea
come together.
And I enjoy that side of it.
That's so fantastic. And let's talk about, the local artists and DJs who will be a part of this lineup.
All the 5FM guys are there, Fresh, Roger Good, and we've got Timo ODV, Dean Fuel.
Wow.
So it's not just the broadcast. I mean, the whole idea of Unite is that it starts at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and it builds up all day with live DJs.
Right.
It's the biggest stage they've ever built in the Dome. So
Yep.
it's about 28 metres wide by 14 high, so it's a huge stage.
Jeez.
I mean, Tomorrowland has made itself famous for these incredible stages. So it's the production is exactly like that.
Wow.
Really exciting.
And over, you know, previous years where it's happened all over the world, what do you think having, you know, just the fusion of the South African guys will, you know, bring to this festival?
We were voted Dance Nation of the Year last year, so I mean, there's, you know, the dance music culture in this country is massive.
Of course.
It's huge.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've got my own vision, you know, I've got my own version of those events. I think dance music can unite any country.
I'm sure.
And I think this country needs dance music now more than it's ever needed dance music.
No, of course.
And the Unite project is about uniting 9 different nations under one banner, which is dance music. And I know that in the Dome next week we'll have people of all different races and from all different backgrounds.
Because of course music does that, you know, regardless
Absolutely.
of who
Music
you are,
cuts
where you
through
are,
that.
what language, you know, you grew up speaking.
Yeah.
Music is just that one language that we all understand.
I remember when I was young, I mean, when you'd go to, I mean, even in London when I was about 18, 19, you know, you'd go to a few white clubs, and then the white guys would go to the Hippodrome and Stringfellas, and the black guys would go to their clubs. And then all of a sudden this thing came along called dance music, and suddenly everybody was dancing together.
Sure.
And I think that dance music has got the power to knock down any boundaries.
Yeah.
And you know, the global phenomenon that is dance music has done that in so many different places. And this Unite project is quite special.
Fantastic. And social media, where do people get all the information they need?
It's all on it's on Tomorrowland.com, and the 5FM website is carrying a lot of information.
Right.
Tickets are available at Ticket Pro.
Ticket Pro.
And I would suggest there's about a third of the tickets left. I think we're 2/3 of the way through, so there's a few thousand left. They will sell out by Friday, so if you intend to come and see this spectacle, I would suggest that people get themselves a ticket because they're going to go.
Wow, fantastic. And obviously social media and all of that will take care of, you know, people who want to know more, and even the other countries and the other artists and DJs who will be on the other side of the world. You said it's starting here around 1, 2 p.m.?
I think it starts at 1 o'clock and it runs till 2 o'clock in the morning. So,
because of course everybody has to, and you know, the other 8 different places have to be streaming at the same time.
That's right. We're gonna bring the whole world together. And I think there's a time in the evening when we're going to sit everybody down and play the same record in 9 dance events around the world at the same time. And then we're going to unite the nations. So I think it's really cool. It's really exciting. I can't wait now.
I definitely can't wait as well. It's a bit difficult to ask you what next because this has to happen.
Delicious.
But I'm sure we will get you back to talk about what next. Like I say, you're looking so cool and collected before, you know, this major event. But that, I guess, is all, you know, compliments as well to a great team that you have behind you, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, we're very lucky. We've got some very hard-working people in this territory.
Fantastic.
And they work hard. And they deliver fantastic, most importantly, they deliver safe music events. I mean, the safety and the security of our people is the most important thing. And if you've got 20,000 people out there having a good time, you've also got a responsibility to those people to keep them safe.
Thank you so very much, Lloyd Cornwall, for taking your time and being here on Trendz today.
My pleasure.
Cool. Now, stay tuned. Yeah, we're back after this break to talk more. And Mandela Day is coming up, so that's what we're doing. Welcome back. You're still tuned into Trendz. Now, of course, we know July is celebrated as Mandela Month because it is the month that on the 18th, our former beloved world icon Nelson Mandela was born. Now, African artists have united in song to pay a tribute to Tata Mandela. The likes of Wax Day, Runtown, Casper, Simpiwe Dana, Banky W and Shady putting together a song inspired by the impact that the former statesman had in Africa and beyond the African continent. Now, the song is titled Viva Mandela. It's track 9 of the album titled 360 Degrees, which was released actually on the 1st of May 2016. I'm now in studio with Wax Day, Cameroonian artist who is so popular, reality show, performances. I mean, you are that guy in your hometown. I mean, I think it was a bit quiet today in the corridors, but I don't think you get that when you're at home. Girls and everywhere are screaming. How are you, Wax?
I'm very
Welcome
well, thank you. I'm very happy to be here with you.
Yeah.
And you're looking great yourself.
Thank you so very much. And so let's talk about you being a part of this collaborative effort. Viva Mandela. Tell us how that came about.
We recorded the song last year to pay tribute to Nelson Mandela, as you've said. But I wouldn't want to say that it came about because we thought about it. I think every artist that is what it's his or sold in Africa would want to do something like that.
Of course.
So the idea actually came about from MCOM in Nigeria, and they called me and said, "Hey, you want to do this? Do you want to join?" Yeah, and then ultimately they said, "Oh, I just come off producing a big track called Coconut Chocolate for 19 artists across the continent with the band and Falik Bundem."
Right.
And they said, "We'd like to use your experience to produce this one as well." So I got called Casper, Banky, and the others, and we came together and did the song.
Right.
But I think it was a very special experience for all of us because everybody said yes and I want to do this because of the significance that Nelson Mandela has.
Yeah.
And now in South Africa, people will not, do not imagine the impact that a man had across the continent. And even when you grew up as kids, when you heard the name Nelson Mandela, it was really big.
Yeah.
I think his influence transcends the boundaries of South Africa in more ways than you can imagine.
Definitely. It's a name that anywhere in the world, as soon as you say it, people can immediately, recognize.
Yeah.
So, so you were also involved in production, but I take it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just you being an artist who's called.
Exactly,
to
in
come
production
and
and writing the hook of the song as well, which I did.
Right. And just tell us about, I mean, everybody who's on this track, has their own, obviously, careers, and they're very busy everywhere, not just in South Africa.
Exactly.
So with that, how did you manage to just coordinate schedules and everybody be there and on their A game? And was it done in one day?
No, it was done actually over a period of 3 weeks.
Okay.
Because we had to do the beat, write the chorus, got Runtown in studio, got Casper in studio, Simpiri Dana came through, Banky W came through, so. And obviously the people who live in different countries.
Yes.
But I think what made it quite easy and, and not so onerous for all of us was the fact that, it's bigger than any of us, the subject itself. If you look at the history of Africa, Nelson Mandela, and the liberation struggle in South Africa, when we were kids in Cameroon, in primary school, we used to pay something called the Mandela tax.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what's that?
So when you paid our fees, there was a little fee contribution that we did, that each pupil or student did, that went back to the fight against apartheid as kids. And this is something that's
That's amazing that we don't even know. And that
people
we didn't even
of course,
do as
nobody,
students growing up
exactly,
in South Africa.
I don't think South Africa, because in South Africa nobody knows about that, but that's what I did personally. I knew I did it.
Wow.
And when we saw the image of Nelson Mandela come out of prison, it was like we were all liberated. Because we were not just it was like, our money is, it's like a sense of fulfillment for everybody.
Yes.
And so it was really inspiring. But beyond that, also the fact that Nelson Mandela actually came and took power and then handed over power, to the next person in a very democratic manner. It set a new standard for other African countries to aspire to. And as musicians, we carry the hopes and aspirations of people and we express them through our music. And towards such a person is a person that we want to celebrate because it's an ideal that we want to represent for our own communities.
Wow. Oh, geez. So the music thing, it's not even just about the fame and the hype. I mean, I talked about how, you've had a reality show and whatever, but it's not even about that for you. This music thing, it's your vehicle of communicating and being somebody bigger than just an artist who has a chart-topping song.
In 2010, May 2010, I was named Man of the Month in an American magazine, Lady Brill. I actually made the cover of that magazine for spreading social awareness through music. Now, the subject of my music is often quite light. But to me, music is a channel that you can communicate with. And sometimes you make it light so that you can reach people. But then there's always a bigger message, an underlying message here. And that is the reason why I do music personally. Now, I do a reality TV show that is called Number One Girl.
How's that going?
It's true. We're going to the third season this year, and we'll get South African girls in.
Okay.
And where we get girls to live in the house and compete to be my number one girl. So it's quite interesting. People always think of me as that superficial person.
Right.
But then at the end of the day, everything I do is for a purpose, For example, with Number One Girl, what I'm doing right now is that I'm getting really beautiful video girls with all the, like the looks, the booties, the bikinis, and I'm mounting a campaign against rape.
Right.
Yeah. So there is always ways of using show business and the pop, the flair as we know it, to transmit more powerful messages. And I think that is my purpose as an artist.
Fantastic that you've also figured that out. So, earlier on in your career, it wasn't a case of trial and error of different things over a while. Fantastic. Geez. And after this, what are you working on? Who are you working with? Plans for Mandela Day, first of all. You're in South Africa. You said you're leaving this week, though, on Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm leaving on Tuesday.
So what are you hearing? What are you doing on Monday and over this weekend?
So over this, I'm performing tonight at Sankai. it's just a performance, no messaging.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I just released a new music video, 360 with Nasty C, which I'm busy promoting as well. I have to chase that paper.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so I will be doing lots of TV appearances. I'm on another show, SABC show tomorrow, Weekend Live, to talk about the song and then the collaboration and the album overall, which is out on iTunes now.
Yes. And how's it been received so far? It's been what, 2 months?
It's been 2 months. It's very positive. It has been very positive, outstanding. First of all, the thing is with the album is that with it, I sought to put together an African experience of music. That's why it's called 360 Degrees. So I haven't worked with so many artists across the continent. I thought I want to collaborate with a Cameroon producer called Cornell, an Angolan producer called Magic.
It's an
experience. And then I got artists from different parts of the continent, different rhythms, house music, bootleg, Afrobeat with Yemi Alade from Nigeria, Banky W Election,
everybody
Afro Trap.
bringing their own experiences into one thing.
One album.
Congratulations to you, X-Day. Pleasure having you here. We have just unfortunately run out of time, but I wish you all the best and thank you so very much. Great to be talking to a musician who does so much more than just, it's not all about the hype of the business.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, an Ethiopian artist who moved to America as a young girl has brought her artwork back to her home country for the very first time. 46-year-old Julie Meretu is best known for her unique and densely layered abstract paintings and prints. Now, the artist is considered to be one of the best painters of her time, with some of her work being sold for more than $4 million. My goodness. Have a look. Coletta Wanjohi reports.
17 paintings hung on the walls of Gebre Christos Desta Center in Addis Ababa. They depict the art journey of Ethiopian-American artist Julie Meretu. Born in Ethiopia in 1970, Meretu has lived in the United States since she was 7 years old. This is the first time she will exhibit her artwork in Ethiopia.
In a way, these paintings, while being abstract, also are images that for a good portion of my work have dealt with maybe the ideas around the urban planning and urban questions and kind of challenges that come about within bigger ideas around that.
Meretu works with marks. Her large-scale gestural paintings are built up through layers of acrylic paint on canvas overlaid with mark making using pencil, pen, ink and thick streams of paint.
And for me, what's so unique about her is the merging of abstraction and the language of architecture that doesn't regularly show up as a work of art. And I think she uses architecture because space, architecture is decisive to human civilization, human living, human habitation.
Meretu's work has evolved to stimulate people's understanding of their own emotions and the reality of the world they live in.
If the marks are individual agents, if the marks are social agents, if the marks behave, the architectural drawing had provided a framework of political and social metaphor, of time and space, so that the marks could behave then within a social context.
She is considered globally as one of the best painters of her times.
Julie Meretu's work is widely collected around the world. One of her most recent paintings sold for more than $4 million.
She, however, clarifies that earning large sums of money for her work is not her focus.
There's an affirmation in that financial support, without a doubt. But I think that really the work, what I'm really engaged with is the evolution of the work and painting. And so the painting really leads me, and it's really an engagement with the work. And I feel like that the other machinations exist outside of that.
Her art journey continues as she seeks more inspiration from individual shifts that she says keep taking place between her and her art. Coletta Wanjohi for SABC Trendz in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia.
Freedom for all. In your heart, your name will live forever. Every day, every night of our lives, we love and miss ya. Viva Mandela, all over Africa. your legacy's forever. Viva Mandela, Viva Africa, all around the world, your legacy's forever. Oh, Mandela, now you suffer for we, now you generate sorrow for we, now you generate freedom for we. Mandela, now you be fixed for you for we, now you come up over for we, so make the other leaders see. That's why we say, now you be wababa. Oh, oh, eh, self-grave be na baba. Oh, Africa, we say me amba. Oh, oh, Viva Mandela, your legacy's forever. Viva
Welcome back. Now, the Room Gallery in Doornfontein is currently showcasing an art exhibition of two French artists who call themselves Wassis today. Titled Orchestrated Freedom, the exhibition is made mainly of video installations. Now, the Room Gallery has also been in existence for the past 5 years, if you didn't know, doing some interesting and avant-garde things. Check it out.
Orchestrated Freedom observes and extracts the effects that encyclopedic globalization has on human bodies and time. A very engaging exhibition indeed. In this theatrical use of video, photography and sculptural objects, Wassis Today challenges manufactured mono-aesthetics and consent that drives and hybridizes our bodies. But what inspired such an exhibition?
For me, at least, the title Orchestrated Freedom is a summary of our work in relation to the way that our lives and society is structured around us to give us a sense of freedom when it's only orchestrated, and it's almost a mirage of freedom. It's not necessarily real always, and that we are constantly bombarded with imagery and ideas of what paradise and freedom looks like, when in fact it's only something that we're running after and never being able to reach.
Labor, time and technology are choreographed to each play a role in the engineered conception of modern paradises that hang like artificial goods for our bodies to chase.
Individually, we are working in kind of different fields. Our research are very similar, but we feed them differently. So we've been already working together for quite a while, and finding a lot of bridges between what Nel-Marie does and what I do. So it came almost like an evidence that we have to collaborate and make works together to just maybe get not more strength, but combining our skills and knowledge.
Some of the work exhibited here are extras from a novel by Wassis Today titled At 10:10. Room is an independent multidisciplinary gallery including a project-based space and residency focused on collaboration, interdisciplinary dialogue and exchange with monthly artistic programming. The gallery also aims to be a part of an interrogative, critical and constructive urban terrain, which in turn informs its visual sensibility, creative programming and values. Orchestrated Freedom will conclude next month at the gallery.
Wow, so in one effort to fulfill one of Madiba's most important wishes to build a children's hospital, Napster Entertainment is staging the annual 67 Minutes of Laughter comedy show with proceeds going to the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital Trust. Now, 34 of South Africa's top comedians are joining thousands of people around the country in honoring and celebrating the life of former President Nelson Mandela. Now, the comedy initiative is already 2 days in, having started this past Thursday, taking place at the Goliath Comedy Club in Melrose Arch. And I'm now with Nina Hasty, back again to talk about 67 Minutes of Laughter.
Oh,
Rafika, you're so beautiful, though.
Thank you.
I stalk you on Instagram.
Oh, what, really?
Yeah,
I think
do.
I have a little bit of a stalking thing with you too, Nina. You are so busy. How do you manage all of this, Nina? My goodness.
Prayer.
Yeah.
Prayer, meditation.
Yeah.
The busier you are, the more you need to pray, the more you need to meditate. Just say thank you all day. Collect yourself, and then move on to the next thing.
And you go out. You haven't performed yet. You are on the stage tomorrow night.
Yes.
For 67 minutes
So it's
of
been
laughter.
quite a long festival. Last year they had it at the Lyric Theatre and it was just a one night. This is a festival across a couple of days at the Goliath Comedy
because
Club.
There's so many of you.
There's so many of us. We've got so much laugh to give.
And
you
that's
know?
the thing. And paying it forward, because here's the thing. Yes, it is a comedy thing. And, you know, as people always say, though, comedy is not a joke.
Comedy is no joke.
Yeah, you guys go up there and you're spreading the laughs and you're spreading all these messages. But of course, it is all for, you know, the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital.
It's amazing. We actually went on a tour of the Children's Hospital, which was it was actually really impressive to see what's been done in terms of creating support structure for impoverished children who have serious illnesses. There's a massive oncology unit. You know, I mean, there's broken arms and broken legs and things like that. But they're talking about rare diseases. You know, we're talking about leukemia, things like that. Children
things
that
cost
really
an arm and a leg to
literally
get treatment for.
Absolutely.
You know?
So as much as we can get involved and raise awareness, raise funds, and get people to come and get involved. So this is the information that I've got for you. This whole thing is brought to you by Napster Entertainment. You know, the king of Christian comedy. He's on the ball, and all proceeds of the ticket sales are going to be donated to the Nelson Mandela Children's Hospital.
Does that mean you guys are getting paid or not getting paid?
We're not getting paid, yo. This is my time. I'm paying in my time and my energy.
Great.
And of course, a special thanks to the Goliath Comedy Club, which is such a beautiful new home for stand-up comedy in South Africa. And it's such a wonderful home as an artist to perform, and it's such a great experience for the watcher, the viewer, the person that needs to get involved.
Just want to be there and take it all in.
Are you going to come tomorrow night?
I have to be
You
there.
have to.
I have
I'm
to
not
be
accepting
there, you know?
no for an answer. Okay.
I'm glad I will be there. But okay, so with so much going on, my gosh, you know, everywhere in the world, something is going down right now.
Yes.
So what is it? Can you talk a little bit about what's in your set?
In Nina Hasty's life?
Yes.
Oh, gosh.
No, in your comedy set.
In my comedy set.
Yeah.
Oh, comedy set. I'm going to be talking about blessers. Because we have to talk about blessers. So I'm going to be giving a guide on how to find one if you need one.
Do you have one?
No, I'm a blesser. I've got a Ben 10, you know. So like how to get a Ben 10, how to get a blesser, how to identify them.
Right.
And then I'm going to be doing some songs from my alter ego, Nikki Namanje.
All right. I like that. I like that, Nikki Namanje.
Nikki Namanje.
Jeez, Nina, what else is on your plate? You are like a mixed bag of everything, but you're doing it all so well and still looking well put together.
Oh,
so
thank
great
you.
stuff, and
Thank
kudos
you.
to
Thank
you.
you.
So what else is, you know, what are you doing?
When I'm a grown-up, hopefully I can afford a stylist, and then I can, you know, that'll be nice. At the moment, I've got a show on MTV, like doing crazy comedy sketches and things like that called Newsish. And we just, some really interesting information from the SABC. At the SABC, I get to announce this. We are starting a new show on the 25th of July called Trending SA.
25th of July?
25th of July, so that's just next week, Monday. It's myself, Pabi Malloy, Kuli Roberts, and Shaka Sisulu, and we are going to be giving you guys like the hottest information on a panel conversation.
Interesting. Nina Hasty, my gosh, so many hats and caps that you wear, doing it all together. And where can people get more info about 67 Minutes of Laughter?
67 Minutes of Comedy. The hashtag is 67 Minutes of Comedy. A special thanks also to Mofaya, who are our partner and sponsors. And also my social media handle is @thatNinaHasty. You can get more information. The show is tonight. I'll be on tomorrow night. Get your tickets and get involved. You can get your tickets at ticketpro.co.za.
Ticket Pro. Okay, great. And anything that you want to leave our viewers with?
No, guys, just like follow me on Instagram. Follow me on Snapchat. Nina Hasty on Snapchat.
Yeah, I think that's where
I'm the Snapchat queen. You really get to see my life, and it's curious and it's interesting, and all my friends are famous. And then you'll see what they all drive.
Always a great thing to have famous friends. You were here the last time with a whole bunch of ladies.
Oh my gosh.
You're always crazy on stage. But I think that's That Nina Hasty.
That Nina Hasty, guys.
Yeah.
Actually, you know how I got that name?
No.
Kagiso Ledike always used to be like, oh, that Nina Hasty. That Nina Hasty man. Nina
Yes.
Hasty man.
Yes, that one. Oh my gosh. And just a couple of days ago, I mean, we were at the premiere of his
Wonder
new
Boy
film.
for President.
Wonder Boy, yeah, Wonder Boy. Hey,
Yo,
Wonder Boy. Special
guys,
one. Special
we've got
one.
to just, how amazing is it? Like, deep into our democracy, that that comedy is really allowing us to be the voice of progress and the voice of change.
Yeah.
And it's just such an honor to be part of such a special movement. And I love all the comedians.
Fantastic. We all have lots of love for you too,
Get
and yes,
involved.
for all that you guys are doing, the Goliaths, the Tracy Lee Olivers, yourself,
absolutely, the
Kagiso Ledike.
Aneles, guys, Anele.
Everyone.
Can we just Anele,
Fantastic,
please?
fantastic. Thank you, Nina. And yeah, so that's 67 minutes of laughter with a whole lot of comedians. Go out there and support it. If it's all that you do for Mandela Day, well, yeah, it's something at least. And so that's how we come to the end of this episode. Nelson Mandela Day is officially, of course, Monday, the 18th of July. So go out there and do your 67 minutes to pay it forward to those less fortunate than yourselves. But let it not be just a one-day thing, because as it rightly is, Mandela Day is more than a celebration of Madiba's life and legacy. It's a global movement to honor his life's work and to act to change the world for better, one small act at a time. Bye. See you next week.